Hey guys, to begin today's fifth grade worksheet, we'll be starting off with addition. And in today's worksheet, we have 3 numbers that we are adding, 2 that are given, 1 missing, and that is what we will be finding. So let's look at number 2. So if, let's say for example, this 80 didn't exist, all we'd have to do is subtract 98 over here, right? However, today that is not the case. We have an extra number. So easily right off the bat, all you need to do to figure out what we're going to be subtracting from this total is just adding these two numbers. So 80 plus 98, you get 178. You subtract from both sides. What you do to one side, you do to the other. You get a 0, obviously. And let's just subtract. So you get 0, 0, and you get a 6. And that is your missing number right here, 6. Alright, moving on. We will be multiplying. And these numbers are a little bigger, but they are not. But it is quite simple. So let's look at number 2 with 3 digits. So 102. Let's set it up so it's easier for us. So just in case for those that don't know how to multiply like this, you just need to multiply the ones first, and then the tens, and then the hundreds, and then if there's more places, so on. So let's begin with the 2 times 8, 16. Carry the 1. 0 times 8 is 0 plus 1. You get 1. And then now the hundreds, 1 times 8, 8. So your final answer, 816. Moving on. Now we will be finding the missing number again. Now, of course, for this, you can just easily add and subtract by the total, but these are a lot bigger. These numbers are a lot bigger. And if you look at it closely, it's very simple. So let's look at number 3, for example. You can see that these are all numbers with places. So like this 8 is just the 8 in the 10,000s, 7 in the 700, and etc. And we're just finding the missing number with the zeros, if that makes sense. So what I mean is, so let's look at it. So we see that out of these, 80,000 is the biggest. And we also see this 80,000 in the same exact place, the 10,000s, right? Okay, so now let's continue. So the next biggest one, we have a 700. 700 right where it should be. Next biggest, 40, right where it should be in the tens. And the 6, right where it should be in the ones. And now we're just missing the 1, we're just missing the thousands, which is where 9 is supposed to be. And we don't see it, so what's the missing number? We're missing 9,000. So we're kind of going reverse to what we normally did in the past. And lastly, we will be dividing decimals. So there will be 2 different scenarios, one multiplying and one dividing. Ironic, but let's do it. So number 2. So in this case, let's try to think about it. This number divided by 8 is equal to 0.2. Now, if this number would be bigger, this would have to be a whole number, right? So obviously, just a heads up, this will be a decimal. So how do you find what the decimal is? All you need to do is multiply these 2 numbers. And remember, the place does matter when it comes to adding, subtracting, and etc. So since 8 is being divided, you are going to multiply. So what's 8 times 0.2? Well, 8 times 2 is 16. We have a 1 decimal place. You move it once. And that is what we're dividing by, 1.6. And if you get rid of the decimals on the 1.6 and 2, 0.2, you get 16 divided by 8, which is 2. On the other hand, number 5, for example, you see that we don't know what is being divided by. We only know what the number that is being divided into. So what do? In this scenario, we divide. What do we divide by? 0.2. So this turns 1. And let's just think about it. So let's move our decimal places like we do when we divide decimals. So we see that we just need to move it once. And what you do to one side, you do to the other. 14 divided by 2 is 7. And that is your missing number. What is being divided? 7. I hope this all made sense, and thank you for listening.